my name is Tim DeWarian. I am one of the senior Amazon consultants for Awesome Dynamic Tech Solutions. Today I'm going to be covering Amazon FBA fees. The different kind of fees we're going to be covering today include fulfillment fees, storage fees, removal/disposal order fees, label service fees, prep service fees, inventory placement service fees, and we're going to talk about Amazon's new unplanned label and prep fees, as well as the inbound performance fees. First, let's start with FBA fulfillment fees. You will see that Amazon divides their fulfillment fees into two basic categories based on whether it is standard size or oversize. Their standard size fulfillment fees for 2018 look like this. You'll see that there's 4 different size tiers, and you'll also notice that there is a shipping weight calculation. For example, if we look at the large standard size 1 to 2 pounds, the way Amazon calculates shipping weight is that they take either the unit's standard weight or the dimensional weight, whichever one is larger, and they add a 1/4 pound. That means that if your product weighs, let's say, 1.8 pounds, Amazon is going to add a 1/4 pound onto that, which will push it over 2 pounds, therefore making it in the next tier up. So it'll be $4.71 plus 38 cents for that additional pound, since it's a pound above 2. So your total is going to be $5.09. Moving on to the oversized category, you'll also see that Amazon divides their oversize into 4 categories again: small oversize, medium oversize, large oversize, and special oversize. And the shipping weight calculation is similar. However, this time Amazon adds a pound onto your unit weight or dimensional weight, whichever is larger, to determine your actual shipping weight. The exception in this case being that special oversize only takes your unit weight. They don't care about your dimensional weight and add a pound to determine your FBA fee. Next, we have FBA storage fees. Amazon has 2 different kinds of storage fees. The first, we're going to cover monthly storage fees. The monthly storage fees on Amazon are based on the volume of inventory that you currently have at Amazon. The actual fee that you are charged will vary based on the time of the year that you have your inventory at Amazon, as well as the product size tier that your product belongs to. The way that Amazon figures out how much you owe is based on the daily average volume that you're using over the given month. Then what happens is Amazon will charge you for the previous month's fees on between the 7th and the 15th of the following month. Here's an overview of what the storage fees look like. You will see once again that there are standard size as well as oversize categories. And depending on whether you are storing your inventory in Amazon between January and September, which is quarters 1 through 3, or between October and December, which is quarter 4, the fee that you are charged per cubic foot varies greatly. Next is FBA long-term storage fees. Long-term storage fees are assessed whenever a unit is in a fulfillment center for more than 180 days. This clock starts from when the item is first received at Amazon. Amazon assesses this fee every month instead of how they used to do it, which is twice a year. And Amazon calls the date of each month the inventory cleanup date, which is on the 15th. Once again, there are 2 different tiers when it comes to long-term storage fees. The first tier is when you have your inventory between 6 and 12 months at Amazon, so 181 to 365 days. And then we have the 12+ month long-term storage fees, which is when inventory is there longer than 365 days. The other thing to take note is that if you do have inventory in for longer than 365 days, Amazon charges a minimum of 50 cents per unit. Let's take a look at how the fees break down. So once again, you have two different types of long-term storage fees. For 6 to 12 month long-term storage fees, you are charged $3.45 per cubic foot. And for 12 plus month long-term storage fees, you are charged $6.90 per cubic foot. Once again, you'll see that there is a minimum of 50 cents per unit for all long-term storage fees whenever it's 12 plus months. However, if you do participate in the small and light program, your fees will be at least 25 cents per unit for the 6 to 12 month long-term storage fees. Any small and light unit that is there for longer than 12 months will be your standard 50 cents per unit minimum. Next, let's talk about FBA removal and disposal orders. FBA removal and disposal orders are primarily used for unfulfillable or excess inventory that you have at Amazon. This is a flat fee per unit. And if you want Amazon to remove your inventory, Amazon may take several days to be able to ship that inventory to you. Whenever you do have them shipped back to you, it will usually arrive in standard Amazon shipping boxes. And depending on the size of your removal order, Amazon may arrange for freight shipping or LTL, or they may actually end up shipping in a bunch of small boxes. So be prepared for that. Alternatively, you may also create what's called a disposal order. A disposal order does not necessarily mean that Amazon is going to destroy your inventory. And it's a little bit unknown of what Amazon actually does when you ask them to dispose of your inventory. Usually we find that Amazon decides to liquidate it and sell it off in bulk. Let's take a look at the removal and disposal order fees. Once again, you can see that the fees vary based on which size it is. If you want to do a removal order for standard size units, Amazon charges 50 cents per unit, whereas oversized units, Amazon charges 60 cents per unit. A disposal order, however, is only 15 cents per unit for standard size, and for oversized, they charge 30 cents per unit. Next, let's talk about the FBA Label Service. The FBA Label Service fee is 20 cents per unit. And for you to be able to qualify for the program, your units must already have a scannable barcode such as a UPC or EAN printed on the packaging. The way it works is that you opt in to the label service during the shipment creation process. And during that process, you must specify that you want Amazon to label your products on the labeling step. Any units that need labeling may actually end up going to a separate warehouse. Now let's talk about FBA Prep Service fees. FBA Prep Service fees, in order to qualify for this, just like the label service, your units must already have a scannable barcode, such as a UPC or EAN. And again, you opt in during the shipment creation process. And the way it works, just like the label service, is that you specify you want Amazon to do the prep of your product during that prepping step. Units needing any prep, just like the labeling, may be routed to a different warehouse. And another thing to note is that if you do use the FBA Prep Service, that you may also need to do the FBA Labeling Service depending on the kind of prep that the product needs. Amazon has an extensive chart to show you the different kinds of prep that they can do based on the category of your product, what kind of prep each category needs, and what Amazon charges you for the different kind of prep. For example, let's say you are selling something that is fragile or glass. The prep that is needed is both bubble wrapping and labeling. The reason why they have labeling as an additional prep is because Amazon, after they wrap it in bubble wrap, the original barcode is no longer scannable through that bubble wrap. So they need to apply a new label. And you can see that they break it down to show you that to prep the unit is 80 cents. To label the product is 20 cents. So the total prep and label for that particular type of item, if it's standard size, is going to be $1. If it's oversized, you'll see that the prep is a little bit more expensive at $1.60. The labeling is still only 20 cents, so the total is $1.80 per unit for them to prep. Looking at something that has optional prep, such as liquids, Amazon will need to put any liquid that needs additional prep into a poly bag, and depending on the type of poly bag that they end up using, the original barcode may or may not be scannable through that bag. If it is not, then they will need to add the labeling service on. So to bag liquids, you'll see that for standard size units, they charge 50 cents for the prep. Then optionally, they will be charging 20 cents per unit to add on the label. So your total is going to be anywhere from 50 to 70 cents per unit for standard size items. For oversized items, you can see once again that Amazon doubles the prep. The labeling is still the same amount. And the total is $1 to $1.20 for them to prep oversized units. One of the last fees to consider is the FBA Inventory Placement Service. The FBA Inventory Placement Service is a fee to have Amazon allow you to consolidate your shipments to go to one location whenever you create a shipment. The one thing to keep in mind is that Amazon still gets to decide which warehouse you will actually be sending your inventory to. There's a couple exceptions as to what kinds of products are allowed to use the inventory placement service. This includes apparel, jewelry, shoes, media, hazardous materials, inventory that is tracked with a manufacturer barcode, also known as commingled inventory, oversized items, any products that are requiring prep, and any products that are requiring labeling. The inventory placement service fees vary, once again, based on the size tier. You'll see that standard size items, if they weigh 1 pound or less, are 30 cents per item. Anything that is between 1 and 2 pounds is 40 cents per item. And anything over 2 pounds, Amazon charges 40 cents plus 10 cents per pound above the first 2 pounds. Oversize is a little simpler. They just have two different ranges. One is if it's 5 pounds or less, Amazon charges $1.30 per item. If it's over 5 pounds, they charge that $1.30 plus 20 cents per pound above that first 5 pounds. Oftentimes, it's not as economical to be able to use the FBA Inventory Placement Service. However, you'll have to do the math to figure out whether or not it makes financial sense. The last item I just want to touch on today are FBA unplanned label and prep fees, as well as Amazon's new FBA inbound performance fees. I don't have any specifics out on this because this is a brand new transition for Amazon, where they are going from the standard unplanned label and prep fees, which they very clearly outlined on their help files. However, Amazon is now transitioning into inbound performance fees, where Amazon will vary the fee based on the severity of the problem, the type of problem, and how many times the issue has occurred. More details on that should be coming out in the future. If you'd like to learn more about Awesome Dynamic, you can visit us at awesomedynamic.com or give us a call at 800-238-1811. Thank you very much for your time, and don't forget to demand awesome.